Be VIP at the light. He's fun. Don't have to work like I was supposed to be. Mhm. I'm a baller. Where's my baller? Jumped out the whip like I was the police. Always said freeze. I'm a baller. Where's my baller? All right, let's get to it.
There you go. Put that right there. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Cool. Orientation is locked. I'll take device back. I would make it sit like this.
Yeah, you got to do it the long way.
Like
You can't rotate
this.
it. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you see this little you see this little box at the bottom right here? Or that's just on me.
That might just be on you. What box you talking about?
So welcome to the live chat box.
That might just be you.
Oh, I can hear the backdrop. I can hear you. I can hear it echo.
Nah, that was my other device, so I can make sure I'm getting I can see the chat and all that. I'm just turning my chat on other device, so you shouldn't hear no echo now. But we are live and direct in the place to be. Your boy KC and your boy Coach P. You hear me, you feel me, you feel me. You gotta get in the camera though, man.
I know I'm over here playing with the phone. Let's see if I can take that off there, but it's all good. How you been?
All is well, man. Back your camera up a little bit so you more in the frame. You gonna have to because it's the straight up and down shot. You got to zoom out a little bit.
Take it back some more.
Yeah, like a good 5 steps. Okay, and then you got to come to your left. No, your right. Then
More.
come come that way. The other way. The other way. Yeah, but your body, you got to come over. You're not in the camera.
Like this way?
Yes, a lot.
I can't go no more, P. Gotta do it that way.
Oh, then slide your camera that way a little bit and film from like that way a little bit.
That way? No.
No. All right. So put your let me see, raise your right hand for me. Okay. Move your camera to your left then. Yes. Can you do that again?
To the left?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's it right there?
You still off to the corner. You're not centered. You see, so right now you in the corner of the phone, like you can see your head, but just in the corner.
Hold on.
Like you not centered. Hopefully I'm centered on your side.
Yeah, you always in the center though. That's better? No.
You every time you move, you get back to the same spot. You ain't moving.
It's
I
my
don't know
spot.
how you moving without moving. You still in the same square.
It's my spot, P.
Wait, over here.
You trying to move me out my spot.
See what I think you're trying to stay in your same spot, but you gotta.
Better.
Yeah, you gotta get in the middle of the camera, like your body positioning. Okay, you damn near in the middle now, but that's way better. Yeah, there you go. Hell yeah.
That's where we're gonna stay right there. Now we
That's
do shot.
yeah. Now you in the middle. I know you want your screens behind you, but if you could position it to where you like this and your screens like that, you perfect. This only because you can't do the wide shot. This is a tighter shot. You feel me? Because we on here you can't go with the landscape view. Is top and bottom. It ain't the landscape view.
Yeah. That one do. But I don't think I can get both of them.
Yeah,
I
it's
ain't
a
got that
tighter
much.
shot. It's a
I
tighter
ain't got
shot
that
is
much
all
there.
it is. You perfect now though. As far as your body positioning, you feel me?
I mean, this one on there, that'll work.
Okay, for sure, man. What's up with you, man? How you been?
Oh man, same old shit, different day. Same. Man, my last YouTube channel, man, I don't even be posting that. They kicked me off of YouTube.
Oh yeah? What happened?
I don't know. Just woke up in the morning. I got an email like, yeah, the content on your page has been flagged. I'm like, all I do is watch videos. So I don't. It's mostly rap videos and educational videos. So I don't know what y'all flagging. So it is
That's
what it is.
crazy.
Trying to create a whole nother one.
Yeah. You said they had flagged one of your other things from way back.
I think that's what it is. I think they read my email. My email. I think they seen my email from the old one and kind of was like, yeah,
Or
you're
is it
not.
the same email?
Yeah, I mean, it was different emails, but you got to get a backup email.
Oh,
That was the backup email.
oh.
Hold on. What I had on here. I'm trying to make sure I write down this question. Did we answer that last one?
What's
Nope.
that?
Nope, we didn't. Cause I see what. Hold on. What you been having
Man,
going on though, man? I still got that shirt in my car, man. I had to go to the post office to pick that up. I had to go to the post office to pick that up, and they wanted $25 to send it back. I said I'll send it on the next time.
yeah.
They ain't want to get no refund, no nothing.
They didn't give you no refund?
No,
Wait. So you paid for it, they didn't deliver it, and then didn't want to give you nothing for it?
correct.
Oh yeah, you better than me. I don't play them type of games.
So give
No,
me
sir.
all.
I need all mine. But see, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna hold you. I got that from my mom. I don't when it kind of like talking up to get like my money back or get something from a business to give me something, no, it's not an option.
Mm.
That's just not the option. We gonna figure this out. Whoever you, if the person saying no, they the wrong person for me to be talking to.
Yeah,
I'm just talking to the wrong person. and I just have to speak to the right person. I asked y'all to deliver something. It's y'all service. I paid y'all for it. It didn't get delivered, obviously, because I got the package right here in my hand, looking at you at the place where I brought it and it originated from for its delivery. Now it's back here in my hand with me in front of you, and you telling me you're not gonna refund me my money or resend it? Well, you crazy.
Technically, P, they did their job. It was the people out there with you that didn't do theirs.
That's why you didn't get your refund because you went in there with that demeanor. Now, what you now what you can do though, the easy way to get your money back, all jokes aside, but with all seriousness, just have your bank file a claim because what you paid for didn't get fulfilled,
Mm.
and they'll refund you whatever you paid for that service.
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
All you do is call your bank and say, I paid for this to be mailed. It didn't get fulfilled. They wasn't able to do it. I went to them. They're going to say, did you go to them to refund it? You're going to say, yeah. They're going to say, oh, they didn't refund it. They're going to say, oh, they didn't refund it. And then they go ahead and file a claim and give you your money back. Easy. Like I said, always. But anyway, so go ahead and do that. Get your money back. I'll follow up with you on that.
Huh?
I'll follow up with you on that to see if you did. Oh,
you know, Olympics?
Nah, I have not been watching the Olympics. But give me some updates. What's up?
What we got going? Simone Biles, she like the all-time gold medalist right now. With the,
That's the like the Olympic girl that like
the gymnastics.
the gymnastics.
Yeah, she be going crazy. Sha'Carri didn't went crazy. Noah Lyles went crazy. The USA going crazy. The basketball team.
The basketball team. I've been
Yeah,
seeing clips of that on YouTube.
Huh?
I see the clips. That's the thing that I'm most up on because I see the clips of the men's basketball. Like I watched the quick clips of them scraping whoever they scrape.
That's the least watched thing I watched in the Olympics, basketball.
Yeah, the only reason that I see it is because, like I said, I see the clips on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Like we get too much basketball year round. I'd rather watch the things that I don't get year round.
Yeah.
Like the track and field. And what's this game? Damn, what's that game, bruh? It looks boring as hell, but it looks fun as hell at the same time. Where they be, huh?
Vincent or something?
When they be scrubbing the ice and making, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
They be scrubbing the ice, but they making a little.
I think it's called curling. I think it's called curling.
Curling.
Yeah.
That shit fun, name. It looks fun, don't it?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't play it.
Yes,
I mean, I would play it for fun, but I mean,
Right.
I don't know how you go about playing it seriously. Like, I don't know what, the steps is. I don't know the rules, but
we don't play that out here. That's why. That's
Yeah.
why we got to go to a whole nother country to play that.
yeah,
You know how bored you had to be to create that game? That was a
man.
janitor. A janitor made that game up. That's a janitor game. That's some custodian work. Hey man, what you
and
doing?
they probably
Hey, I'm gonna
good.
try to get this over there quick as you can.
There's a lot of games like that I don't quite understand, to be honest with you. But if I was going to watch something, one of my favorite all-time events to watch is always, I love watching track. And I'm not talking about all the other events. I'm talking about the 100 and the 4x1 and the 200 and maybe the 4x4. But outside of that, that's it for me.
Mm.
But the 4x1, that's my whew. And then the 100, I love that. The 200, the 400. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of events like the curling that I don't. They got what's the bocce ball?
I don't know. I was just thinking about that 4x1, and I was thinking about the third leg on
Yeah,
the foot.
yeah. And what did you find out, sir?
That I was the fastest one on our team.
This motherfucker is the fastest to be crazy. The fastest to be delusional.
Did you watch the 4x1, the women's 4x1? You didn't see it.
No.
So I think it was Gabby. No, it wasn't Gabby. Was it TT Tutu? Whoever it was, man. Listen, the first leg started off she started off good. The second leg was cool. She was running good, but I think Jamaica had him. Jamaica had the lead. And that third leg, boy, she came in. Boy, and when she had that thing, no, matter of fact, it was the second leg. the second leg went off. And when she went off, the third, pay back up from the camera.
Who did what?
Can't tell you nothing, bro.
I just want you to say it again a little bit more clearly, loudly, profoundly. Who did what?
The first leg started off.
Mm-hmm.
The second leg had a good lap.
No. Say it how you just said it a second.
That is what I said. The second leg went off.
Went off.
The third leg
benefited from the second leg going off.
She did. Because matter of fact, that second leg was eating that track up. I ain't gonna lie. She was digging in there, mom. But
what did I tell you in the Olympics? Who runs the second leg in the Olympics?
No, wait. Listen what I'm finna say though, because the first leg started off kind of shaky. So when the first leg started off shaky, it was like a big gap from us, and that second leg started eating up into that. So when she got to that third leg was hitting. But when they got to Sha'Carri just different. She hit that and rockets.
Yeah, I tell you what, my young brother, the
rockets.
The second and the fourth leg are going to be the fastest legs when it comes to that straightaway and running the 4x1. And the second leg, oftentimes in the Olympics, is going to be the leg that can hold top speed the longest. They're the strongest, fastest runner. They decelerate the least. And they do that.
You trained your brain to remember that bullshit. That's what you did.
You just said it.
No. I'm breaking down. You heard exactly what you wanted to hear. That's all you was waiting for, was me to say something about the second leg.
I have no idea what you was going to say. I'm giving you a breakdown of a conversation that we had previously, and you just.
I said the third leg. I said the third leg went off, and then I said, but the second leg was eating up the track.
You corrected yourself. You corrected yourself. You messed up when you said the third leg.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Bottom line, shout out to the women's 4x1 team, man. They all went crazy.
They sure did. And shout out to all the people that ran second leg and/or anchor because they was the fastest on the team. And if you ran both second and fourth, then you know you really was that guy.
And third. And if you ran third leg, you knew you was better than all the rest of them. That's why they got you in third. Watch out.
That's what's up. Yeah, let me ask you, because you was the fastest on the team at third leg. Let me ask you if you ever ran second or fourth.
I'd have to. I was running third.
I did. I ran second and fourth. Fourth and second.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
like you saying both.
That's why
like you saying both. Like you saying both. He ran second. He ran fourth. Shit, I think Usain even ran third one time.
You biased. That's what it is. You're biased.
I'm logical.
Biased.
Logical.
Yeah, I hear you.
But you did your thing though, like the third leg you was describing. You did your thing. You just benefited from me handing you the baton. As like right now. I'm still handing you the baton. You still benefiting. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, at the end of the day, we still teammates.
We still teammates. It's a team.
It's still good. Let me give you a trivia question for today.
Let's get it.
I got one for you. Hey. Here's the trivia question.
Let us know in the chat what y'all favorite Olympic event is right now. If y'all have been watching the Olympics, I haven't been watching, so give me some updates. What's the trivia for the day, man?
Trivia question for the day. I got it. Let me see how I want to phrase it. Trivia question for the day. What was your go-to morning cartoon on Saturday mornings?
Damn.
I don't even have an answer for you, but I'm going to give you a few.
I don't have an answer for you.
I don't. Let's go with X-Men. Recess, Looney Tunes, or
See, my brothers would have a better answer because they was more into the cartoons and stuff. But I would have to say something probably like G.I. Joe. I remember when G.I. Joe used to come on
okay.
during
I can
Saturdays.
think of another.
That
G.I.
was
Joe.
fire. Ninja Turtles. I remember when that used to come on. That was fire. And then if I was gonna give like a classic one, I would have to
MC
say
Hammer cartoon.
I would have to say like Scooby Doo.
MC Hammer cartoon. Remember that?
Oh, MC Hammer, yeah, Hammer Pants.
That's short-lived Hammer cartoon.
Hammer Pants.
I
But
would
I would
say
probably,
Gumby, but
oh,
Gumby
I
was
remember
for
them.
school day.
Yeah, that was during school day. I would probably say like Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was fired. Yeah,
Yeah, with Cobra,
yeah,
Thundercats,
yeah. Thundercat.
Thundercats,
Yeah,
uh, the Smurfs, the
yeah,
Snorks.
yeah,
Remember when Cable was that big ass brown box?
yeah. I remember when the TVs was big ass brown boxes. I
Hey,
remember that.
that top one had what? U 2, 4, 6, 8,
Oh yeah.
9, 11, and 12 was you. And the bottom one had all the channels. And the only channels you got was 20, 36, and 44.
Yeah, and
That's
two.
old school. When we used to have to go to the TV and turn the little knob to adjust the colors.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that shit?
Yeah.
Hey,
The
so
contrast.
y'all put in the comments what's y'all favorite cartoons from when we were uh young. Hey, Pete, think about this. You were born in the 1900s. That officially makes you old as hell.
Well, first of all, you're not gonna
Don't
just
worry
put
about
me on that because that's what's on your mind and on your head. You ain't gonna put me in that. Hell no. I'm not gonna just agree with that shit. Hell no. uh, hell no.
Think
Uh,
about that. You were born in the 1900s. Hmm. Somebody said women's gymnastics and
they
track and
talking
field.
about the. Yeah, they talking about the. Hold on, let me open this. They talking about
Oh,
the what's
oh,
called it.
you have the new color.
Oh,
You,
you talking
oh,
about the yada? Yeah. You talking
yeah, I
about the
see you.
yada?
Oh, okay,
You talking about the
okay,
yada? Yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
see you have new colors. Hey,
I got a bunch of new flavors. I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna make sure you get it. Cause I'd be damned if you don't get it and they be playing with me. But
hey, I see you got a new sponsor too. I see you got somebody else. It popped up on my thing. Sachimach,
what?
Sachimach, Sachimate. Be promoting you on
Oh,
Instagram.
that's one of my members. Yeah,
Hey, man, hey, they promoting you, so good business.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
business.
You talking
Good business.
about you talking about Sashay with the
Yeah.
1.3 million? Yeah, that's
Hey, man.
one of my members. And but we also are doing some business together too.
Hey,
What you
man.
say,
That
soccer
look.
match?
hey, hey, man. Look here, man. Good business, man. Good business.
Yeah,
Good business. Hey, I ain't talked to you in a while, so what's been going on with you? No topics for me. So I got something for you.
I'm ready. What you got for me? Is the 1900s one of your topics?
Hell no. That's just how old you is. You was born.
I was born in the 90s. I don't know nothing about I mean the 80s. I just
Look,
know
look. The 1900s.
the 80s.
You was born in 1980. You can fill in the rest. Hey, so I do got a topic, and I had another one. I just can't remember, but it's gonna come back to me. But you have wrote one to me, and I needed you to kind of elaborate on it for me a little bit.
But you talking about a month ago? Because that's the
Yes.
last time you was on here.
So you say you're just gonna be throwing shots like that? You just come out of the blue. Life been life.
What was it? What was the topic?
This from you. Confusing interpersonal concerns for others as compassion.
Oh shit.
No, no, oh shit, remember.
Give it to me one more time. I got to think back.
Confusing interpersonal skills. Wait, I'm sorry, interpersonal concerns for others as compassion.
Mm, let me
Confusing
see.
interpersonal concerns for others as compassion. So
Mm.
I'm assuming you saying that people be acting one way and then saying it's compassion, but really be lying.
No, 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 no. So I'm seeing if I wrote myself some notes, but it'll probably take me too long to find those notes. Um, but what I can tell you from what I'm recalling from when I brought that up, confusing interpersonal concerns for others as compassion.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I think where I was going with that, and we'll probably have to revisit it after it come back to me, because that was a month ago. But I
Don't be throwing
remember,
that foot out there.
but it basically, so individuals always want. There's individuals who always talking about compassion, being compassionate towards others, having compassion. You know, a lot of people are want to make, feel like putting the needs of others first makes them a better person, right? And if they focus on themselves more, it makes them a bad person or a not so good person. So people will kind of self sabotage or find ways to limit themselves to do more for others because they feel like the more they do for others, the more of it, of the more it is a reflection of how good of a person they are. And their reasoning for doing that, for basically in some ways neglecting themselves to give more to others, their reasoning for doing that in such a way is their reasoning is that it's compassion. They're being compassionate. But I, it came to me that sometimes what they believe is compassion is just their own inner thoughts. It's just what they believe. They may believe that they're doing the right thing. They may believe that they're being compassionate for someone else, but really they they could be holding a person back. They could be holding themselves back. They could be missing the mark altogether. So just because a person sees another individual outside of themselves a certain way and they make something up in their head that they believe is the best for that person, it doesn't mean that what they think is the best for someone else.
Mm, mm.
People in their head can be like, this person needs this, but that don't mean they need that. And it doesn't mean that they need it from them. People in their head can be like, oh, it looks like this person would benefit if I did this for them. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily true. That's their own thoughts, their own energy that they're creating in their head to make themselves feel better about themselves instead of focusing more on themselves.
So what you're saying really is more of a projection.
Absolutely.
You said it's
People,
projecting. Pretty much
absolutely.
you feel some kind of way about yourself. So you making it like it's a concern for me. Oh, you too skinny. You ain't eating enough. But really you feel like you're the one who not eating enough, so you project it onto people. You project
Absolutely.
it
That
on
would be a
and then
good example. That would
say
be,
yeah,
yeah, that would be a great example. And you could
right,
apply that in other examples. Just what
right.
people have going on in their head, they may try to project, like you said, energy towards someone else to make them feel better about themselves and act like they're doing so much for everyone else because they're so compassionate.
Mm.
But they could be missing the mark where they need to be focusing more of that compassion on themselves than everyone else. And sometimes and oftentimes, no one asks them to be compassionate for them. No one asks them to be concerned about what they believe they're going through when they themselves could benefit from their own compassion, so-called compassion.
What you said is something right there. We always talk about this a lot. I'm finna I'm finna start going into what you said and start dissecting some things. So what you said was self-sabotaging. That's what I heard. That's what stuck out to me. Right.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna go with self-sabotaging and projection. Is projecting a way of self-sabotaging, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I would say
So
yes. It could be.
we project on the other people, our fears, our insecurities, and
Absolutely.
worries, right? And then in a form of doing that, we're sabotaging ourselves, relationships, jobs, anything that can benefit us. We can be sabotaging by projecting, right? Because a lot of times we project onto people or or the things that we don't like about ourselves,
Mm.
right? That's what we do. You arrogant as, or you think you
Mm.
know it all, or you know what I mean? We do this, and in turn, this is the feeling, man. We really think we know it all. This is us projecting, but we making somebody else feel small because we're projecting and acting like we're concerned
But I'm
about
doing
something,
it
right?
because I care about you. I'm concerned about you. I'm
Right.
compassionate.
Don't keep doing this. Don't keep doing this because this will happen. But at one point, it's like, no, it'll happen for you. It happened for you because you're scared to do it. So you're projecting your fears and anxieties onto me, and in hopes that I feel the way that you feel because you didn't succeed at something. Now you think that you're going to project your fears on me and say that I'm not going to succeed because you didn't. But all it takes is for me to do it for you to get your confidence back. So I
Hmm.
got that. Um, that was really good, man. I think we need to. I think that was good. I think I think that was a good question. Self sabotaging and projection. We need to stop the projecting. But here's the question: how do you stop projecting? How do you stop projecting your fears and insecurity? Because projection can be good and bad, right? Projecting can be good and bad because if we doing it in a positive way, man, you love everybody, man, you just a good person. Then that's one of what you like to say. That's a best practice.
But then I wouldn't say that's projecting. I would say that's recognition.
Same difference, ain't it? But a different name.
Well, I think when people say projecting, when you use a term like projecting, I think what people are saying is that a person is taking something and off of themselves
Hmm.
that's not a, a positive thing.
Right.
And they're trying to put it on someone else or disciplining it in someone else when they're not disciplined and when they don't have the discipline for themselves in that same
Mhm.
area. Sometimes parents will do that with their kids, like so I think that when you turn it into the positive, that's
Mhm.
more of a real recognized real. That's more of a recognition thing. I wouldn't want to confuse the two by saying, can you project positive energy? Absolutely.
Every day.
But I think in the when you frame it and you take it into context, when people say projecting, they usually mean it in the form of,
A
you're
negative
projecting.
connotation.
Yeah. It's
Right.
not usually used in a positive. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But that's just because that's our perception, right?
Yeah.
Because we think everything got to be bad when we use the words. But projecting, again, is just taking it off of me and giving it to you, and seeing something that's in me again and putting it onto you.
Yeah.
But when we feel like it makes us feel good, we change up the word.
Yeah.
So if somebody walk up and flick you in the ear, or let me use the better one because that if somebody walk up and pat you on the back, you're gonna say, "Hey, that was cool. It didn't hurt. It was a pat on the back." If somebody walk up and slap you on the back and it sting a little bit, you're gonna say, "Fool, why you just hit me on my back?"
Yeah.
Did the same thing. One was a little bit softer than the other, but it was still the same thing.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
gonna call it a different word. Projecting don't got to be a negative thing. We just use it. We just use the word in a negative way. You know what I mean?
Well,
So I
I
guess
mean,
that's
here you go
word
right here.
play.
I
Huh?
think I think, you know, just in the context, like I was saying, just staying within the context of how we were just speaking, um, when I was talking about the interpersonal thoughts
Right.
becoming people utilizing it as compassion, and that made you think of the word projection in
Right.
that context. you weren't thinking of, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were not thinking of uh, a positive projection.
Right.
You were
No, that's
thinking of
correct.
it you were thinking of it in that same
Right.
connotation. So yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. That yeah, you can take the word and flip it because projection could be projecting something on the wall. You know what I mean? It
Right.
can one word can have multiple meanings, like you said, but there are certain words that trigger certain responses off top, especially depending on the context that they are utilized in. But we talk about this all the time because I remember not too long ago we was talking about you was like you about to surprise yourself even right now. You was talking about the word bitch, and
Mm.
you were saying dudes need, that come from certain areas, they'll be talking to they partners and meaning in a respectful way. But you were saying even if it's meant in a respectful way, you got to stop calling your woman a bitch, right? Like,
Right.
oh man, that's my bitch right there. But then remember, I brought up that a woman herself talking to her homegirl be like, oh, that's my bitch, bitch, I see
Right.
you. So it's the connotation. That's kind of what you're saying about projection.
Right.
And you're correct. Words can be used in different ways, but in the connotation that most people reference it in, and how you connect it with the intrapersonal thoughts that I was talking about, I think that was a good way to just kind of simplify what I was saying.
Right.
And that was a good example of, yeah, sometimes people do project, whether it's good or bad, they project their thoughts because their intentions, also what I meant in that is that their intentions, they believe, are good. When even though they might end up projecting, they're not even necessarily aware of it, right? Their intentions are good because again, like I said, they believe that they're being compassionate and it makes them a better person. But that's why I said be careful, because a
Mm.
person might get into such a deep practice of doing so much for other people, being so concerned about other people, they not having any type of self-reflection.
Mm.
Got to be careful being, because they're so compassionate about others and they put this practice of being compassionate, whether it's projection or any other type of examples you can get. My point was to be careful making your life wholesome because of everything that you do for others, when you might be neglecting yourself, when a person might be neglecting themselves because of what they think that is best for a person, when that person probably don't even need it, didn't ask for it, and you never know if it's the right thing for a person. You could be getting in the way, like you said, trying to force blessings on somebody could be taking their blessings away from them. You know what
Mm.
I mean? So that's
But you
kind
never
of,
know if he'll come back to you.
yeah. So that's another example of, being careful with those interpersonal thoughts and trying to say that it's compassion, because a person could, you know, if you too close to a person that God is doing whatever type of work with at that time, and you call yourself being bigger than God, that would be another example like you gave, many episodes ago. So, um, I just recently been coming across a lot of people talking about being compassionate for others, when I feel like the best way to do anything for anybody else, whether it's compassion, whether it's helping in any way, is first to focus on you.
That part. That part. I was just having a discussion. I've been doing a lot of therapy lately. You know. Listen. So here's the. I've been doing a lot of therapy with people lately, and
Yeah.
one thing that I've been finding out is we have a lot of work as individuals to do. A lot of work that we don't we say we need to heal that and start working that, but we don't. We don't really take the time to start doing the real work, right? What they say, health is wealth, right? Health is wealth, but we
Yeah.
never actually take the time to sit down and start doing the work with ourselves. And when I say sit down and do the work, I mean get selfish, right? Where we become selfish and say, you know what? And for the lack of better words, or just because I like the word, fuck them, fuck it, right? Sometimes we just gotta say fuck it, fuck you, fuck them, fuck them all. It's about me. Sometimes we gotta get selfish, right? And
Mhm.
really start doing the work. I had a conversation.
Respectfully selfish is what I call it, by the way.
Okay, here's the thing. This is the beauty of. Oh, let's get here. This is the beauty of it. You ever think about? You can remember certain scenes from movies,
Mhm.
You can remember certain scenes from movies. You got your favorite movie, Minister Society. You can remember a scene. You can probably know the movie verbatim. Boys in the Hood, verbatim. New Jack City, verbatim. You pick your favorite movie, you know it verbatim. The problem is we remember everybody else's movie, and then we cut out scenes of ours, our life movie, our life story. His story is nothing but his story, her story, right? Your story. And we
Yeah.
go through this movie of our life, and we forget so much of our own movie because like it's many years of film. So you only remember certain scenes. You remember certain scenes, and a lot of times, like projection, when we start going into our past and we start digging down, we only find the scenes that hurt us, that caused us, that caused us trauma, that caused us pain, or we got certain ones that made us happy, right? We got the ones that made us happy, and then we got the ones that caused us pain. And those are the ones we hold on to the most. Man, I remember this. This happened to me and it made me feel this way. And I remember XYZ. But we have so many moments. Life don't stop lifing. Your movie doesn't stop making movies, right? But it's these certain scenes from the movie scripts of our life that we hold on to. And the problem is we're holding on to them because we want to keep reliving that hurt. So something in that scene of your movie, and I'm using movie and scene as the preface, or whatever, so you can see it. We take this certain scene and we hold on to it. And because it's something there that hurt us, that traumatized, that we need to go back and address. This is where me and you say we raising our inner child. And P, here's the topic for the day. We not raising our inner child, we need to raise our inner teenagers. Right? Because our teenagers is where we make the bad decisions. In our traumas that we went through as young children, you don't remember all of them. As you hold on to certain scenes, but it's in them teenage years when you become the most impressionable, when you start making bad decisions, hanging out with people you weren't supposed to hang with, doing things you knew you weren't supposed to do or didn't know, but you was curious to find out. It was in those moments, it's those scenes that we hold on to. It's those scenes that we grasp onto and we don't want to address them. So now, as we get to these adult ages, the scenes of our life that we thought was making us cool, the scenes of our life that we thought was going to define who we were, now they're hindering us. They're putting us in a box in our mind. They're making us prisoners in our own mind. So now we trying to go to therapy because we need to heal. And the therapist gonna give you this piece of paper, and they're gonna say, "Here, this is your worksheet for the day. Figure it out. Here's the real work. Here's the real work. Go back into your go back into your mind. Like I tell you, go into your closet or go wherever your place is. Go into the mirror and start doing the work. Start finding out what hurts you. What hurt me here? What hurt me at this moment? And that I got to keep remembering this when I was 12. What happened there that made me feel some kind of way? Why didn't I sit in it? Because we didn't know to sit in it. So for y'all that's listening, this is my exercise, and I'm gonna tell you: pick one moment in your life that hurt you real bad, and pick one moment in your life that made you feel real good, and take that one moment that made you feel real bad, and you look at it, go back into that memory, and and say to yourself, what happened here, and what could have happened to resolve it? What could have happened differently? What do you wish you could have did differently? You got to sit in that moment, embrace that moment, because a lot of times life keep life, and so we move on. But sit in that moment, find out what damaged you, and then address it. Address how it made you feel. Scream it out loud. Write it down. Burn it. Whatever you got to do to get that off of you, to let it go, because this is where we start releasing some of this shit. Get in there and see what hurt you, what made you feel however you felt in that moment, and be in that moment. And then what you did, write it down, scream it, yell it, whatever you're gonna do, and burn it. Also take one of them good moments, the good memories that made you feel good. And what was it about that one? And and embrace that. Ah, this made me feel so good. I love this happened. How did it make me feel? I want to hold this, but I know I want to feel this feeling again, but I'm not gonna hold on to it, or I'm gonna hold on to it. Let's do the work so we can move forward with some of this, because we got to start getting some of this dirt and getting some of this stuff up off of us. We have to start doing the real work. You don't have to go back to you go to your inner child. That's what me and you preached a long, long time ago. But you got to get that inner teenager. Get to that inner teenage you, the one who was making all the bad decisions. Address that person in you and tell them, hey, bro, you didn't know it then. You didn't know it's okay to make mistakes because the mistakes that you made now, that you made, allowed us to become who we are. And who we are now, I got us. We got us. You ain't got to worry about it. The problem is we get down there and start trying to do the work on us and trying to help other people. I can't be digging and trying to save me and trying to save you at the same time. I can't take what you putting on me when I'm digging because life don't stop life. And so the dirt and the pile up don't stop. We just got to be focused, committed, and determined to do the self work and get down to what's bothering us. Because if we can keep on getting to the root of the problem, then what's falling on us ain't gonna really bother us that much. We don't know how to handle it because we didn't handle the darkest parts of us. The darkest. Listen, y'all do the work. Do the work. Address yourself. Address the teenage you. Address the hurt that's in you. Sit in those moments for a minute, but don't stay in them. When you're going through hell, you don't stay there. You keep going. Because if you sit in shit too long, the shit will stop stinking. And you don't realize that you're sitting in shit. So get your ass out of it. Get up and do the work. It's real work that you got to do. It ain't going to no therapist. You can go there if that helps you. I ain't saying don't. But the real work starts with you and the truth inside of you. You got to go inside you because that's where the work is. Anything exterior and external is just somebody giving you a blueprint. You got to do the work. You got to dig because only you know where you hurt at. Only you know how to navigate what's going on inside your mind, your body, and your soul. Only you can navigate that. And you can't be afraid to go inside your body, your mind, your soul. You can't be afraid to go in there, even though it's scary, it's dark, it's going to hurt you. It don't matter. You got to go in there. You got to go in there. You got to address it. You got to attack it, and you got to heal from it. And that's where the healing starts. Go in there to you and let you know that you got you now. Ain't nobody coming to save you but you. Ain't nobody gonna pull you up but you. It's gonna get dirty. It's gonna get scary. It's gonna get nasty. You gonna cry. You gonna scream. You gonna laugh. You gonna go through every emotion. Go through it. Go through it. But do the work. Do the work. Because if you don't do the work don't do you. Pete, what you got?
Write down a couple notes here. It's funny talking about projection in movies because you project movies.
Right.
You was talking about projection and movies, and you project movies. But you know, sometimes I say things that might come across as rude, too direct. I don't know how people might take some of the stuff I say. Hopefully
Right.
hopefully is as great for them receiving it as it is for me delivering it. Now, like a lot of the stuff you were saying, I completely agree with you, and I would say that that's what I call average thinkers. Like most people do have these things that go on,
Mm-hmm.
and most people have them in different arenas or the same arenas, and most people could agree with certain type of ways of doing and thinking because they have conformed or been
Mm-hmm.
taught in some type of way to be average thinkers. So one of the best thing an individual could do for themselves, if they care to do so, is think outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Think outside of average thinking. Think outside of the thoughts and behaviors of an average thinker. In fact, if a person has spent many years, like most people, being an average thinker, they have perfected being an average thinker. So being able to think outside of that shouldn't be that hard
Mm-hmm.
because you already perfected that. So now let's try something new.
Right.
Let's learn a new skill set at this point. It's time to turn the coin, flip the coin, and let's find a new skill set. And to the best of our ability, do the work at not being an average thinker, going above and beyond that and not conforming or settling for that level of thinking, that frequency. You can go above it if you care to do so. In every arena and every aspect of your life, there's an opportunity to go above average thinking. Most people just are comfortable there. That's why it's
Mm.
called conformity. Um, so there were a couple other things that you were talking about. So I'm just going through my notes here.
Go for it.
Hurt, hurt or hinder you. Hurt comes in different forms.
Mm-hmm.
When you were speaking of hurt, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that you were addressing the side of hurt that when people say they were hurt by something and
Or someone.
it was well something or someone and it was
Right.
an emotional hurt, it was a physical hurt, it was a hurt that caused pain, discomfort, tears, trauma, right?
Right.
But hurt doesn't just stop there.
Mm.
Hurt can be a hindrance. Hurt can mean hurt a person from accomplishing, achieving, advancing, hurt their mindset from not being an average thinker, hurt opportunities. So when you talk about hurt, it's not just uh, pain and suffering as far as uh, emotions or trauma, which is I'm not saying it's not a big thing. Of course it is. However, individuals themselves learn to hurt opportunities when they're growing up in those traumatic instances. They're taught how not to come up out of things, but instead hurt their chances, hurt their opportunities, hurt their abilities to go forward. So when you talk about going back and doing the work, part of that is learning how to forgive yourself for opportunities that you might have hurt,
Yes,
from
Lord.
decisions that may have been made because of other hurt that triggered a person to make the wrong decision based on what was taught to them by an average thinker, or even worse, a below average thinker.
Mm.
So, even worse, a below average thinker.
Mm.
So, because those exist in the world as well, too
Mm.
many of
Mm.
them. So, when you say hurt, sometimes that disruption of not really knowing how to solve or where to go is because a person can identify pain hurt, like when they cry, like you said, and they can
Mm.
identify the opposite of that, like when they laugh and they have joy. But sometimes where people struggle is really recognizing where they hurt themselves from advancement, where they hurt themselves from growth. They stunted their growth,
Mm.
where their spirit was hurt, and you can't just put a band-aid on it, where their wisdom or their knowledge was hurt, and you can't just put some ice on it.
Mm.
This is something deeper rooted. And the mind, the brain, the spirit, all this stuff is what really drives who you are.
Mm.
So when a person feels stuck because of hurt or trauma, a lot of times it's because they haven't figured out how to forgive themselves and recomp from the hurt of not being able to advance when they felt like they should have. When they look back, like I should be here, I should have accomplished this, I shouldn't have did that. Not because ow it hurt here, but because damn it cost this. That's a different type of hurt. So when individuals understand how to deal with that hurt, that's how you go forward,
Mm.
right? People become accustomed to working through the punches and bruises and all that. You feel me? A boxer can get into a boxing match and the nigga that win can be lumped up.
Mm.
But when they raise his hand, he cheering like he ain't got a scratch on it. When he get
Mm.
home, he got to put ice on that. But
Right.
morally, he understands how victorious he is no matter what the bumps and bruises look like on his body.
Right.
So
Right.
when we talk about hurt, I think a lot of times people get caught up on the physical hurt, the trauma, and those things. And as people are working to find out how to get from up underneath that, whether it's at their early childhood stages, whether it's at their teenage stages, whether it's in their 20s, 30s, or beyond, because there's people who watch this who are older than you and I that we
Right.
got to also give wisdom to. Whatever age group it is, you never stop doing the work. You do it at every phase. You start at the beginning and work all the way through, then you bounce around and go up here, then you might come back. It's where you are at the time that you're supposed to be there doing that
Mm,
work.
mm, mm,
It's no
mm.
specified timeline. It's when you get there, you're there, you do the work. Next month you might be 25. Month after that, you might be 13.
Right.
But you're doing the work nonetheless. And what you're learning to do is something far more superior to just learning how to work with the bumps and bruises. You're learning how to get past the hurt of opportunities lost, places where people may have held themselves back, and how to go forward and grow from the things that you learned in that moment and recognizing that you actually learned something. And now that you're going to move forward in this moment the way you know how and
Let me,
teach others to do the same.
one thing you had hit on, and I'm glad you did because you brought me back to where I wanted to go. When we going back to everything we just said,
Mhm.
forgiving yourself,
Mhm.
that is part of doing the
Yeah,
work. That's
yeah,
part of healing.
yeah,
Because here's the thing: we hold on to them parts, and we have regrets. We hold on to what regret as we get older. We start looking back at the things that we did. Oh, I did this. I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did this. And we don't want to forgive ourselves. We hold on. Remember what I said? It's like the movie. You know,
yeah,
you hold on to a certain scene,
yeah,
right? Here's the thing: the decision you made at the time that you made it, you felt like it was the right decision for you to make. So you have to forgive yourself because in the position that you was in at that time, the decision that you made, although it may not be the best decision in hindsight, it was the
yes,
best decision for you that you chose to make at that time. Maybe, maybe not, but it's a decision that you made. And it's okay to forgive yourself because the person you are at 21 is not the same person you are at 11. And so what you know at 11, you don't know at 21. At 11, you probably did some stuff that you probably said, hey, I did it. But at 21, you can't say, hey, it's going to hinder me. You know what I'm saying? At 21, at 31, you're not the same age as, you're not the same person that you was at 21 and so forth. So part of doing the work is forgiving yourself because the decision that you made then was something that you felt at that time was necessary for you to do. So you have to stop holding on to that. Remember in the Bible, one of the kings had three sons, and this is the way I'm going to use this. He had three sons.
yeah,
He gave all three sons some money. He said, you take this money and I'm gonna come back for it. Go do something, but when I come back for it, make sure you got it for me.
yeah.
The oldest son took the money and went and bought cattle, livestock, created himself a livestock farming, and that became his business,
Mhm.
livestock. The second son went and bought seeds and planted grains and vegetables and things of this nature. He took it and that was his business, selling grains and fruits and veggies. The third son took the money and he ran and he buried it. He ran and he buried it. And when he ran and buried it, he said, I'm gonna save it. So when the king came back, he says, y'all, it's time for you to give me my money. What have you done with it? The king, the oldest son said, well, I took the money, I bought me some livestock. I bought me some cattle and goats and things like that. And this is what I did. So here's your money and here's my offering to you. He said, very well, my son. Very good. Very good. The second son said, well, look, I took it and I bought some grains and wheats and I plant fruits and vegetables and corn and rice and things like that. Here's your money back and here's my offering to you. The third son, he said, good, 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 good. Very good, my son. Very good, my son. The third son, he said, what did you do with the money I gave you? The third son pulled out his money and handed it back to him. He said, Father, I took the money and I buried it. I made sure I didn't do nothing with it because you said you was coming back for it. The father looked at him and slapped him. You fool. I gave you this to do something with yourself, and you sat on it and did nothing and gave me exactly what I gave you without nothing to show for it. This is the reason I'm telling you this story is a lot of times we hold on to things when we need to be letting them pass by. Like money. We value money. But we hold on money until the fix because we don't want to let the money go. We want to hold on to the money and don't want to let it go. Like, hey, when I die, I'm taking this money with me. I'm going to take this $100 with me. I'm going to take this $1,000 with me. But you can't take no ATM card when you die. You can't take no bank account. You can't take no Brinks truck. Just like you can't take these hurts with you. You can't take traumas with you when you die. Nothing goes with you. You go by yourself. So what you hear with and you deal with, you got to let it, just like everything else, just like life, just like energy, just like everything. You got to let it flow. Quit trying to hold on to something. You can't grab air. You can't grab the air. I can try all day. I can't grab it. It's energy. It's life that flows. Life and energy constantly flows. We can't grab it, but we keep trying to get a grasp on it. Don't. Take it as it comes. The traumas, the relationships, the money is not yours. It's here to go by. No matter how good it feels when you got it, no matter how lovely it feels when you hold it, no matter how much it can give you, we got to start letting all this stuff go, right? Let it pass by. The memories, the hurts, let them go. They came, they gone. The movie is over. You write a new movie every day. You get new money every day. Quit trying to hold on to these things that serves you no purpose. You got to forgive yourself. You got to understand that, hey, I made some mistakes, but that doesn't define who I am. They help create who I am now, but they don't define who I am. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We all have things in our past that we would wish we could take back, but we can't. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because, hey, you don't live, you don't learn. In your blessings, lessons come out. So sometimes the lesson is the blessing. Sometimes the lesson is the blessing. Damn, I learned this. I know not to do this no more.
Yeah.
Opportunity comes in chaos. What happened then created an opportunity for you to become this person. So in doing that, forgive yourself. Learn to forgive. Learn to say, hey, it is what it is. I apologize. I ask God to forgive me. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Because guess what? At the end of the day, I got to go to sleep with this. I got to go to sleep with it. And if I can't sleep no more for something that happened 40 years ago, 5 years ago, hell, 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes, then guess what? That's gonna be me breaking my own back and pouring more dirt on top of me.
Yeah.
It's time to open your hands, open your hearts, open your minds, open your mouth, speak it. Speak it out loud when nobody's around. Speak it, get it out. Speak it out loud. Write it down. Whatever you got to do, get it out of you. Put it into the world. Burn it. Release it from you. Let this stuff go. Know that even if you say, I don't have no money, nobody has money. Money flows in and out your hands. Money's not meant to be held. Money is a transactional thing that keeps going. It comes and it goes. You have $1 now, you don't. You put another one, it keeps going. It doesn't matter. Relationships. I love her now. You love him now. It goes, and that don't work, you get somebody else. It's a revolving door. So why do we hold on to the things that hurt us back then? Stop it. Go back there, see what it was about that hurt you. Live in it. Say it out loud. This hurt me right here. When such and such did that hurt me. If it makes you cry, cry it out. If it makes you laugh, laugh it out. And then let it pass by. Easier said than done? Yes, but that's part of the work. Let it pass by. That's why you speak it out loud. Write it down if you need it. Write the story. This happened right here. And after you write it, read it. and then tear it up and burn it.
Yeah.
Get it out of you. Make it plain, make it real, feel it, live it in that moment, and then release it. Burn it and let it go. This is the work. This is how we're going to start the work. This is how we're going to heal ourselves.
Yeah.
We got to start rebuilding ourselves from the inside by addressing the things that's deep down in us. Not here's the thing. Don't just look at this part, one piece and say this hurt me. Look at all of it. So if you can, you got because everything got a root. Everything got a root. So if you can't deal with one woman, if if you like to deal with, I haven't been single in this many years, and but every time I break up with one, I go get another one. Well, why is that? Because I don't feel like I should be alone. Why is that? Because maybe I was alone when I was a child. So how did that make you feel? It made me feel kind of bad, really, because I wanted somebody to care with me and kick it with me. So what do that mean? Now I'm having attachment issues. Well, what's the attachment issue? That means I can't be alone. So I need to grab somebody. I need to have somebody with me at all times, or know that I got somebody I can turn to at all times. So what happens when you don't got nobody? Well, when I don't have nobody, I start projecting my feelings and my insecurities on the people. So the relationship that I do have now, I'm self-sabotaging because I don't want to be alone. So since I don't want to be alone, I'm going to make you feel some kind of way. And because you now feel some kind of way, you don't want to be by me because you don't want this bad energy because you're already dealing with your own insecurities and your own projections. So when you start doing the work and start seeing the root of the problem, then you can start addressing the problem. Well, what could have done different? Well, there's nothing I can do differently now because now, guess what? I enjoy my peace. So if you're around me or not, I'm going to be okay. But I know what the problem was. And now I'm going to say, hey, well, guess what? I got me
Yeah.
and I can deal with it. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Pete.
I know it was something else too. I thought what we're talking about right now, this is my favorite quote that I ever wrote. This quote right here, I wrote this probably back in like 2014 or 15 or something like this. And it's in my book, but this is my favorite quote. But before I get this quote right here, when you talk about doing the work, um, and oftentimes people automatically assume that, like when you talk, because we was talking about hurt and all that, like it's going to be scary, it's going to be deep. But one thing I learned from a person being in practice of doing this type of work that we're talking about consistently, it don't have to be scary. I said
Mm,
this before. It's actually therapeutic for me. It's a addiction, a good addiction. I look forward. That's why I came up with the 30-day goal, had this best practice sheet, and I send it out to all my members every month because I was doing it for myself, and I noticed that I started to look forward to it. And my members who do it, they look forward to it now too. It
mm,
becomes a good addiction. So it's like, what can I identify within myself that I can improve? And it doesn't, just like when people try to tell their approach. See, your approach to the work that you're going to do has a direct effect and impact on the outcome.
mm,
The approach of the work to the work that a person is going to do that needs to be done has a direct impact and effect on the outcome.
mm,
So, a lot of people, like, we don't work out, we train, but a lot of people do work out. And a lot of people have a relationship with quote unquote working out that's not a good one. And they don't really know why, the root of why it is not a good relationship. But the reason is because most people are scared into exercising or working out. Again, we train, we don't work out. But I'll tell you what I mean. Most people are like, the doctors say you better work out or else you're going to be this, you're going to be that. Or, oh, you better work out or you'll be fat and out of shape and you won't look like this and nobody will want you. So there's this, people use negatives to try to force people to do things that are good for them. But
mm,
that's not our approach. These things are good for you because they're good, not because some negative outside force. Your energy and your approach will have an impact on your relationship with the thing. And if your relationship going into it is negative, then it's counterproductive. This is why a lot of people fall on and off.
Mm.
They do the work for a little bit of time and then they fall right back off. But because their original state of mind going into it, and that's always stuck in a subconscious, because the subconscious is more powerful than you think. The
Mm.
subconscious is more powerful than you give thought to, than you think. It affects their relationship with the work that they're supposed to be doing because they went into it subconsciously or consciously saying that this thing is scary, that this thing is hard, that this thing is, and who sticks with something that is any of that? Who sticks with things that are negative? Even if they do it for a while, it's just a matter of time that they fall off.
Mm.
So when people come to us for training and I say we're going to train their brain, what we're doing is training them to have a better associated relationship with training, with exercise. We're not working out. We are training in a positive light. This is a beautiful thing. It is a lifestyle that you should enjoy and crave like a motherfucker crave a pizza or a donut. You should crave this, and then you should satisfy this craving every chance that you get.
A pizza and a donut.
Huh?
A pizza and a donut.
Motherfuckers crave them like a motherfucker, but that's how I crave this. Yeah, how they crave them donuts and them pizzas and all that shit and ice cream and they can't live without it. I can't live without this. That's how I crave this. That's how I teach people to do this. And if you ever go and you look at the comments that some of my members put and they say where they started and what I taught them, they'll say I taught them to have a better relationship with fitness, a better relationship with training, a better relationship with themselves and how the putting the work in. It's not a chore.
Mm.
It's not a negative. It's an opportunity at a better lifestyle. And why wouldn't you crave that?
Mm.
Um, so I want people, yeah, it's some things that happened in the past that might be negatives and hurt and all that. But your approach to doing the work doesn't have to be impacted by that. Because I
Mm.
can tell you on the other side from years of doing the work, and I still got hella work to do, but I've been doing work for a long time on myself. I can tell you from speaking from a place of experience
Mm.
that this shit is a craving. I crave it. I look forward to the next thing. I'll be like, oh, I remember when I did that.
Mm.
I remember when I made that bad decision when I was 20, when I was 15, when I was 12. I remember it clear as day. When I
Mm.
was 9, I remember it. I'm about to go fix that. Watch this. Watch how I level up now.
Mm.
Ooh, they think I leveled up already? Boy, watch when I fix this.
Mm.
Watch.
Mm.
I'm excited. Boy, I can't wait to get in here and do this work. Boy, you got me fucked up. Boy, I'm juiced right now. I'm about to figure something out to do right now. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. I'm telling you the truth. So a person's mindset going into something affects their outcome and relationship and ability to make it a lifestyle change. Because when you change something, you want to make it a permanent change. You want it to be permanent. You want to terminate the negative. It's very difficult for average thinkers to get there because they're too busy going back and forth because they have that thought that this is a negative thing in their subconscious anyway. Now, I could go on about that, but the quote that I wrote right here, and this is my best quote that I ever wrote, in my opinion. And when I wrote it, I sent it to people, they really liked it. And if you know, then you probably already know what the quote is, but I'm gonna read it. This is from like 2014. So this is going back to what we were talking about, like you were talking about learning from past experience, basically, and all that, right? So the quote is, there is no such thing as failure for a truly wise individual. There is only opportunity to learn. Use wisdom learned from past experiences to get past current situations. Wisdom succeeds when history repeats.
Mm.
So you have an opportunity to learn from past experiences. It's opportunity if you care
Mm.
to do the beautiful work, the
Mm.
beautiful training, the beautiful leveling up, the beautiful uplifting of yourself.
Right.
And when you learn from, like you were saying, the lesson is the blessing. Well, when you learn that lesson, it is a blessing because when history repeats, it's this well-known for this dude that he wrote a book. He's like a billionaire, and he's a like he coached people in money and other areas of life. And he says, and I picked up I don't know how I came across this dude, but the main quote that he had was another one of those. I was
Mm,
watching these segments, and it was another one of those. And I'm like, at first I didn't know what they meant when they kept saying another one of those. And basically, it's along the lines of the quote that I wrote here when I finally picked up what they meant. I was watching clips, another one of those. And I forget the name off the top of my head, but maybe I'll put it in the chat or something later. But another one of those. And what they meant by another one of those, this dude who's people look to for guidance and money in other areas, he was saying that he studied money and other things, and he saw that no matter how long it takes, that things that happened in the past come again. And if you
mhm,
follow and study the patterns the correct way in any arena, you can be ahead of the game,
mm,
because these things that might catch somebody else off guard or might knock they world turn their world upside down, it's because they're not students of the game. They didn't study and they are not ahead of the game. But another one of those. This is so he says when things happen with people or with the world around him, he recognized, oh, this is just another one of those. And
mm,
what's the best, in my term, what's the best practice to handle another one of those? I remember when this happened before and I studied it, and the best way to handle it was this way.
mm.
The worst thing to do is this shit. Don't do that. So another one of those is another way of saying when history repeats, use wisdom to attack it.
Right. Yeah. That's the best way to go about life anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just try not to repeat past mistakes. And that's really what you gotta do, man. That's how I always give. I always give personal proof testimonies. You know what I'm saying? Well, how I handled it. I can't tell you if it'll work for you, but I can tell you this is what I did to get through it. So you welcome to use the blueprint that I used, or you welcome to go ahead and navigate it your own way. Um, so that's what I try to give to people, man, and just making sure that I know, I just like to make sure we give people some kind of tool to how to handle these things. We always say, it's easier. I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. And how can we forgive somebody else if we can't forgive ourselves? And then I know a lot of y'all gonna get out here and say you're gonna do the work, or y'all gonna talk yourself into it. And forgiving and forgiveness is not a 1 day fix. Forgiving somebody doesn't happen overnight. And well, you can say it, I forgive you. I had a conversation with this beautiful person. I ain't gonna lie, beautiful person. And they said, uh, what they say, is it really forgiving? Like we can say I forgive you. I can say I forgive you, but I keep on, and do I really forgive you? You know what I'm saying? If I keep on holding on to it and not forgetting, is that really forgiving? Right? I ain't gonna forget what you did, but if I forgive you, right? If I truly forgive you, then what you did, I shouldn't even worry about it no more. Right? And I shouldn't even worry about it anymore. If I forgive you, then it should never even cross my mind no more. The problem is we don't really forgive. We just say it to sound good. I forgive you. I forgive you, but I won't forget it. But forgiveness is forgiving, learning to forgive. We always speak about learning to receive and learning to be the best you and learning the best practices. Learning to forgive is just as important as learning to receive and learning to be the best version. Learning to forgive is it's a daily practice. It's not just words. Just like saying let go and let God. You got to really believe it for it to work. So when you say you're going to forgive, forgive is not a 1 day fix. Forgiveness takes repetitive thinking, repetitive action. You got to train. Here goes the peak moment. You got to train your brain
Indeed,
to forgive. You got to train the same way we teach best practices. You got to train your brain
indeed,
to forgive and train your heart to forgive and let go. You can't say I forgive but I won't forget. That's not forgiveness. That's faking. That's faking the funk. You're not really forgiving. You're faking the funk. What you finna say, Pete? Because it look like you finna say something.
Let me break a couple things down within that for you real quick. So people use idioms and sayings all the time without ever practicing them themselves or really understanding the science or root or history behind the saying. They just say it because for one reason only, it sounds good. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds good to say. It sounds good when they heard it, in fact. So why wouldn't they repeat it? People repeat things just to regurgitate it, but they never put it into practice or dissect the real root of it, where it started, where it came from, what it means, how to really live by it. They only say it because it sounds good. It sounded good when they heard it. It was clever. It was catchy. It was whatever it was, which it was intended to be. And so people pass it around like free game. But it doesn't mean that they are in practice of it. Like when people, one of the idioms well known, people say, practice what you preach,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, when it comes to forgiveness, the reason most people struggle with forgiveness is because most people are in the practice of false forgiveness. False forgiveness, not real forgiveness, false forgiveness. Forgiveness is something that if you give it too easily, if you give it too freely because of your own interpersonal issues, then things will continue to happen until you're forced to deal with it because it becomes so big. Things will compile. False forgiveness is when a person is in a situation that they're afraid to really address, deal with, or walk away from, or hold themselves and people accountable for their actions, really hold them accountable. So they falsely forgive because they just want to get past it. They want to, like you say, they don't want to sit in the hurt. They don't want to deal with the shit because it starts to smell like shit. If you sit in it long enough, you, like you say, right? So people will just sit in it, and they sit in it because of false forgiveness. Somebody has done something and they give them their forgiveness when it's not deserved.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been earned. Forgiveness is earned through action. Forgiveness is not just given because it feels good to say you forgive somebody and you hope that that makes them change and you can move forward with a better version of yourself and them because you said you forgive them. Forgiveness is hard work and it is earned. Stop false forgiving people. They don't deserve it. And you don't deserve it. You deserve more than the false forgive people. You deserve more. You should stand on what you was gonna say.
Hey, forgiveness. It don't matter. It don't matter if they ain't got to be there present. Forgiveness ain't for them. The forgiveness ain't for them. The forgiveness is for you. Fuck them. Because I don't want to hold no hatred or nothing extra because you made me feel some kind of way. Fuck you. I forgive you. Let it go. It's energy. Remember, let that shit go. It was a scene. Let it go. Fuck them. So I don't even need you to be a present for me to forgive you. I'm gonna forgive you even if you keep being you. I just recognize who you are. But I forgive you because I don't want to hold it. And I'm
But
gonna
see,
forget it because I don't even remember what the bullshit you did.
and I'm gonna address the forgive and forget thing too. But see, when
Go
you
ahead.
say that right there,
Yeah.
that's another thing that I think people get twisted. That when they say, I'm gonna forgive you for me, not for
Mm-hmm.
you. You don't have to even go that far. Fuck them. You already said it. What are you talking about after that? If it's fuck them, it's fuck them.
That's why you forgive it.
Did you remove it? It's no impact on your life. When you say that, what a person is really saying is, this person has no impact on my life. So you forgive them and you move on, whatever. But a lot of people who say that still be having all that hurt and turmoil and all that shit that you was talking about. And they
Mm-hmm.
got to go to therapy. And when they go to therapy, the person
Mm-hmm.
that they so-called forgave and forgot is still showing up in their therapy sessions through they hurt. So
That's why I
again,
got a record problem. That's why
huh?
it's work.
But that's why I said people, but see, let me explain to you how a person even gets to that point of where they gotta say, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave. I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what I was talking about when I say things compile
Mhm.
until you are forced to do something about it. You have no other choice. When a person does that, it's because something, especially an adult, I'm not talking about a child, I'm talking about a
Right.
functioning adult. When they do that, when a person gets to that point, they're usually driven to that point, right? They're usually driven to that point. But what drives a person to that point is all the false forgiveness along the way.
Mm.
See, a person will show you, like we said before, when a person show you who they are, believe them.
Right.
People don't like to drop the hammer out the gate. They like to be cool first.
Mm.
Everybody want to be cool with everybody. Everybody want to be compassionate with everybody. Everybody want to be safe with everybody. Even though they know in they fucking mind that that's not reality. People try to force these false realities and make it reality. I want it to be cool because that's how I want it to be. I want to be compassionate. Well, you being fake, because that's not how everything is. That's not how everything works. So if you tell somebody, hey, don't drive my car, and they drive your car, and then you be like, hey, why did you drive my car? I told you don't drive my car. Why would you do that? And then you wrecked it. You got a scratch on the side. That's why I said you couldn't drive it. And they get mad for 3 days. And then the next day, the person's like, I really need to drive your car. You better not do it again. That's false forgiveness. They give them the keys to the car. That's false forgiveness. Nah, fuck that. When I told you not to drive my car, I meant what I said. You took it. You can't even ride in it again until
Mm.
you show me the reason that I told you you couldn't drive it in the first place was because I recognize a flaw in you. Until you show me that that flaw of lack of responsibility is fixed, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm not going to wait till you back the whole car up and it's gone. Or
Mm.
you let your girlfriend drive it and she run off with some, like, I'm not gonna wait until, because this is what happens. Small things happen. You understand what I'm saying? It be little things and people keep false forgiving these little things, and then something else happens, and it becomes this big ass thing to where you have to deal with it. And then that's when people try to walk away from it. But if they would, false forgiveness leads to big happiness.
Mm.
So quit being in the practice of
Quote.
false forgiveness. Huh?
That was a quote right there. Make sure you write. That was your quote right there. That's your next quote.
Uh, False forgiveness leads to big happenings. So what I want to drive home is that people need to learn how drop the hammer out the gate and don't false forgive. Those little things that people feel like, oh, it's not that big a deal, let it go. No, hold people accountable for those things. And when you forgive them, let it be earned. And you could start to minimize
Mm.
the amount of big happenings that happen around your life, because you're not in the practice, like most people, of false forgiveness.
Mm.
False forgiveness is a bad practice that leads to bad happenings. Um, now, I don't know, what did I say? I said false forgiveness leads to bad happenings. Is that what I said?
Now you're trying to write it down.
Now, I'm gonna just go write me a note here so I can put that on
Now
my
you
next
said you
my
said
next.
false forgiveness leads to big happiness.
Oh, big happenings.
Happen.
Yes, indeed.
That's what made it dope.
Yes,
Because
indeed, it does.
you
Now,
said it. You said it was so small, and then you said it leads to big
yeah,
happiness. Yeah.
small things. Yes, indeed. So, okay. Now, when it comes to forgive and don't forget, when it comes to forgive but don't forget, that's one of those sayings that people don't really dissect, know the root of, the history of. It just sounds good. They heard it in the song, they heard Tupac say it, and they just use it or whatever. But what forgive but don't forget means is it's ironic. It's what we were talking about. And when I held my card up, or when I was saying the dude Ray Dalio, I think is his name, something like that.
Mm.
Another one of those. Forgive but don't forget doesn't mean that you don't forgive someone because you don't forget. It means be wise enough to learn from what happened. If you forget it, that would be foolish because now you set yourself up to be unaware when it comes back around. It doesn't, not forgetting doesn't mean that you are trying to hold someone. That's where people get it misconstrued. You're right. A person that's doing that hasn't really forgiven a person. They're just you living by a saying that they're now putting into practice. Well, I forgave him, but I ain't gonna never forget. No, you didn't forgive him. You're just using a saying to say that you did because it sounds good. That was
Right.
your point, right? A person when they say, "Well, I forgive them, but I don't forget," they're actually not ready to forgive. They're practicing false forgiveness, but they're unaware. And they're just using the saying to appease themselves because it sounds good. And it's how the average thinker moves forward. So they're taking on the habits of the average thinker. They're
Yeah.
practicing false forgiveness. And one of the ways to do that is to misuse a saying that sounds good, which is forgive, but don't forget. And to your point, yes, a person saying that more than likely hasn't even forgiven. But true forgiveness, when you truly do forgive, doesn't mean that you have to forget. In fact, when you forgive someone truly and your spirit is okay, they're okay, everything is better for the better, you shouldn't forget because you now have learned a lesson, which is a blessing. Why would you forget a blessing? To forget a blessing is foolish.
Mm.
So the real meaning of that word when of that phrase when used correctly in the right way means to forgive when forgiveness is truly earned and should be given. However, don't forget what happened because this is something that I put into practice and that I understand. It doesn't matter what somebody does wrong. Everybody can agree that that individual was wrong. You could tell 100 people and all 100 people would say, "Casey, you're right. That person was wrong. They was fucked up." But what you got to remember is what did you do to allow that person to wrong you? How did a person put themselves in that situation? Because if they don't remember what they need to learn from how they even got wronged in the first place, they're liable to find themselves in that situation again. Because even if somebody wrongs a person, my belief and my practice is I got to look at myself and say, wait a minute, what am I supposed to learn from this? Because there's an
Mm.
opportunity for me to learn in every situation. So now, yeah, that person was wrong as fuck, and everybody agrees. Now, me being a wise individual, how do I learn from this situation so I don't find myself in this situation again? What was the misstep that I made to even make myself open or available or vulnerable to this misconduct or whatever it may be? So forgive, but don't forget when used the correct way. It's something that you should do, but like you were saying, most people, average thinkers, use it to appease themselves for practicing false forgiveness.
All right. Hey, we did a good show this evening. I know it's getting late for me, P. It's early for you. What time is it? 9?
It's 12:27. Where you at?
Oh, awful dead. Early morning. Early morning. When we jumping back on?
Man, who you
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, right. Right. 'Cause I'm gonna say next week and then it's gonna be 3 weeks. Hey, for the last time we was on, somebody got on my bumper and said, man, when we was talking about Motown. And
Oh,
then they came back and said, well, we actually listened to the music. They said they was just using Motown as a reference. But in reality, we listened to the same music, even though, they were born in the 1900s.
you
Um,
you in a rush to be old, boy. Don't you include me in that.
I said, thank fool.
I'm,
Thank.
I'm just clearly stating I ain't one of they.
Right. That was
wherever, wherever they may be.
hey, listen, man, but we, we listen to Al Green and things like that. Al
Yeah,
Green and Marvin Gaye. Matter of fact, I got a question. Who is
mm,
better than you, Al Green or Marvin Gaye?
same fucking person, if you ask me.
How, P? I'm
It's
let
bef-
you have.
it's not really my era, so I only hear when I hear people play it. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? It wasn't really my intertwined in my spirit because I wasn't selecting the music or putting it in. I just hear it. And when I hear it, it's the same type of vibe for me. So I, I'm just keeping it real. Now
They,
you would have to have somebody who grew up with them, who watched them grow up, who had their first album, who saw their first show. For me, to be honest with you, it's like the same person.
I like Al Green a little bit better. But you know,
Somebody said Marvin in the
I mean, Marvin cool, but I like Al. You know, I like what they call them, grits, fish and grits, or whatever they call them.
yeah.
But mm, so we gonna jump back on this thing. That was a good.
I ain't old enough in the 1900s to answer that question.
Me neither. Me neither. Hey, listen, man. I'm young
I can
enough.
go study though, and
Huh?
come back. I can go study both of them and come back to you. But y'all leave us y'all opinion. Y'all let us know. You say who?
I say Al Green.
You
That
say
level
Al
of
Green,
happiness hit different, man.
and what's the name? Say Marvin. Well, let me know.
Hey, yeah, come on, you know what it is. They said 1981. Yeah,
Yeah. So y'all let us know who you think Marvin or Al
I
Green.
mean,
I
everybody
say
got
they're
that.
interchangeable. I say they're interchangeable. Me.
I don't know.
Play that one. We kicking it.
What
It's a
about Teddy
we have to
Pendergrass or Teddy Pendergrass and Barry White? They interchangeable?
nah, because I'll tell you why. Because Barry White is a when we was just talking about this, I kept thinking about Barry White because somebody like Barry White is a very distinct sound.
Mm. So
You get
Gerald
a
Levert,
certain sound.
Gerald Levert, or Barry White.
That's a good question.
Freddie
I'm not
Jackson or Luther.
so you got to give me like R. Kelly or so. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
R. Kelly or Babyface.
Oh shit, that was a hell of a question. Because I was ready to say R. Kelly, no matter who you said. That was a hell of a question.
'Cause that's the only person who I feel like could go up against R. Kelly. The only person.
Damn, that was a
Mm,
hell of a question. Because Babyface got shit that we don't even know that is from Babyface that we be giving credit to people about and listening to, just like R. Kelly do too, though. So
right.
we don't even that was a good question.
Mm,
I wasn't even about
right.
to let you finish. I was just about to just say R. Kelly, but that was a good question.
Yeah, you know what? Because one day I was just sitting there, I was like, damn, who can really go against Babyface? Because if you think about it from the 80s, 90s, even though Babyface was running it. And R. Kelly
And,
was running it from like all the 2000s, even some of the late 90s. So
and some of the hits that's credited to Babyface, you don't even know. You would have to find out. Be like, oh damn, he wrote that too. I didn't even know. You know what I mean? It's stuff that you
right.
don't even know. But same thing for R. Kelly. Because sometimes we think we know all of a person's catalog. They be back there writing all kind of shit.
Yeah, Flo Atton, what's going on? Al Green, if when you hear what's going on and uh love and happiness, I mean,
That's interchangeable to me. You see what I'm saying
right,
though?
right.
Just think
I was
about
just
that.
gonna, I was
What's
just
going
gonna agree with
on?
you.
And then love and happy. Like that's interchangeable to me. You can let it that can come on and that can come on in the mood, in the groove of the
It's
picnic
gonna
or the
be the
kickback.
same.
It's gonna be the
That
same. It's
you
the
had the
same.
correct answer. I mean, you had the correct answer for that. That
I
was the
know it
correct answer.
sounded like a little direct and like an easy cop out, but I was just being honest. They're interchangeable to me. Put them
That,
both on
that,
one plate.
that was a good answer. That was a good answer. So I got a question. This gonna be for them in the chat. Johnny Gill or Brian McKnight? That'll
Same
be a
person.
question. Huh?
Same person. Again.
I think Johnny Gill took that though. I think Johnny Gill would have took that by far. But don't know. Don't know. I mean, that's my opinion. I like Anthony Hamilton. That's my favorite one. So then you got Anthony Hamilton or Charlie Wilson.
Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson a goat. Hold on now, hold on now. Now Charlie Wilson before my time, but he one of those people that surpasses. He could drop a hit today.
Who? Charlie?
Charlie
Anthony
Wilson,
Hamilton. Anthony Hamilton can too.
the Isley brothers, but Anthony Hamilton came way after Charlie Wilson.
Right. I know, but I'm
So I'm
hey,
saying Charlie Wilson is a goat. You can't. That's not. There ain't too many people fucking with him.
he ain't make no bad CD. But I like both of them, but I like Anthony Hamilton. Anthony Hamilton, give me
The Isley brothers,
the Isley brother versus who?
they could drop a hit right now. They've been dropping hits before we was born and got hits today.
Yeah.
See, people like that go over decades, like how Snoop Dogg from our era is to this new era. People that just can keep just,
What
you know,
about? And I wouldn't even know the answer, but how about Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Commodores?
see, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I like that one song from the Commodore Zoom.
See, I think those is kind of the same vibe again too, though.
Right.
So you have to have indulged really into their catalog to pick one. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Anita Baker or Tony Braxton? I think they more like the same person.
No, I'm gonna tell you who is the GOAT of all time.
Somebody say Keith Sweat versus Bobby Brown.
Well, they had a versus. They had a versus.
You can't do Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown.
They had an actual versus. You know that, right?
Keith Sweat versus Bobby Brown?
Yes. Go on YouTube and watch it. They did a versus.
I'm gonna be honest. Keith Sweat will kill Bobby Brown. Now I ain't gonna say kill him, but to me, I'll take Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat a world player out here, man. I'm gonna keep it real.
Look here, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I don't know how you Keith Sweat will go against.
They had a versus. Go watch it. Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown had a versus.
Who won? Keith Sweat.
I mean, you got to make your own decision, but they had a. That one you can go watch and make your own decision. It's on YouTube. They had a real versus. I'm gonna tell you who the GOAT of all time is for me when it comes to this singing shit. Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle, man. I don't know why you squinching your face up like you don't understand.
Yeah,
but
no.
certain people can sing and make you cry. They can make you, like, if you stand in front of them when they start singing, you want to be like, hold on, I got to get the fuck from over here. Like they when they sing, you ain't never experienced somebody singing and it's so beautiful you wanted to cry. Like it was like, damn, that shit hit your spirit.
Yeah, you ain't never did that to me.
You ain't listening.
Nah, I didn't. Give me the song that you were listening to. So Prince beat everybody.
You ain't never listened to
I knew that's what you was putting. That's the only one I can think about. It didn't make me want to cry. It just made me want to jam.
I do, because you're not listening. Do love you. Man, that one is singing too. Oh my God. Yeah. Only you knew. What are you talking about? I don't even want to listen to it right now.
Let me ask you this. Sade or Erykah Badu?
Erykah Badu is gangster. But Sade smooth as hell. Depending on what mood you in.
That part. But you can't never not be in the mood for Sade. You put tears by my side.
Yeah. That's like saying Guapole though.
Guapole don't have nothing on either one of them.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying that the vibe of her music would be more.
Yeah. But like that's like Janae Aiko. You know what I'm saying? Janae Aiko got that Sade vibe.
Neo Soul or whatever it's called.
Yeah, man, that's my jam right there. That's my genre right there. Neo Soul.
Neo Soul.
I'm gonna put that on it right out. You know what I'm saying?
When you get off the phone today, I want you to listen
to what, Patty?
And just listen with the real ears. Listen with your spirit, and you tell me.
Name me. Here we go. Name me a white group that you listen to.
The average white band, not the average white band.
What's the name of their song?
Oh, let me tell you, you don't even know it's them. I'm finna. Amanda put me on.
What they call? The average white man.
Man, not the average white band. I think is what it called. They got a song now. Knock too. Hold on, cuz.
Erica.
Hold on. Not the average white band. Let me give you the name of the song. Hold on. That you and you gonna be like, what? Panda. What's the not the average white band song? That's not.
Erica Badu with Big Jill Scott. I'm not really a big Jill Scott fan. KC and the Sunshine Band. I was going with another one bites the dust, and another one down, and another one that race that song. That should be jamming. I'll go with that or Aerosmith. Walk this way.
I'm finna play it for you on my other phone when I get it, but not your average white band. They got the song "A Love of Your Own."
A Love of Your Own.
Pull it up real quick. Watch. You gonna be like, this.
No, my YouTube on there don't work.
I'm finna pull it up for you.
I like Chris Stapleton.
"A Love of Your Own," not your average white band. Hold on, let me pull it up.
There's a few white bands though that be jamming. They'll keep it jamming though. I listen to white people music too. I like Elton John.
Listen to white people music.
For real. You like Elton John?
No, just give it to me. "A Love of Your Own." This knocking. Look, turn it up.
Fallen Oaks. There you go.
This knocking, boy. This that kickback. You gotta have you a box shell, lean back.
Can't hear nothing you playing.
You can't hear this?
Hell no.
Of your own.
Hey, white?
Yeah, you didn't know. It's all white boys.
Love of your own.
Knocking. They winning hands down.
Hey, yeah, that's your slap right there. That's my, hey,
It's called an average white band.
I didn't even know what that was called.
You just know that song knocking when it come on.
Yeah. Hey, did you know that song, Another One Bites the Dust? You know that's about black people getting shot down?
What?
Another one bites the dust, and another one down, and another one down.
No.
That's about black people getting shut down. Black people getting shot by the police.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that, but I do know. A love of your own.
Hey,
Ooh, that's knocking.
the barge. I know it ain't gonna be or heat wave.
Heat wave. What? Who?
I mean, the barge had them slaps too, though.
The barge did, but what's heat wave? You got to give me a song.
Always and forever.
Oh.
Each moment with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, but when they said Prince right there,
I'm about to go knock that after this. The
What's-
sooner you can.
you heard the song that start knocking.
That shit, knocking. I'm about to.
Have you ever just put on Prince though and let Prince ride? You call him they call it the average right band. You've been saying white.
No. They misspelled that because that person is probably talking instead of typing. It's the average white band.
Oh. Well, hey, it's all good.
That's what the name of their band. I'm not making it up.
Hey, it's some good white people music out there. But Elton John, slap. You don't like Elton John?
You got to give me an Elton John song.
Benny and the Jets, Mary J. Blige, bad, dent.
Okay.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. Yeah, that not.
Benny and the Jets. Hey, Elton John the fool too.
Yeah, that not.
Yeah, he got some slaps on there too. Elton John go crazy too. Listen, and Prince is the best from the 70s. Prince is the best Prince. The 70s.
See, that's another timeless individual though. Like Prince is timeless.
But if you go back to his 70s, like when Prince was little curly hair, hairy chest, sitting on there, like
Yes. Yes, it's crazy.
Right. When he hit
they
that,
said they said he
if,
could hoop too back in the day.
yup, what that song you got? If I was your girlfriend, if I was your girlfriend,
Yeah,
would you remember? Hey, Prince go crazy. Prince, yes. Flo Adney, Prince is hands down the greatest.
yeah.
And that he's another one we could have put up against R. Kelly
I
and
mean, it's not even
Babyface.
you don't even put them against each other because he's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? It's just Maroon Five is another band. Oh yeah, they got the one dude.
I was gonna go with Backstreet Boys too. Which one Justin Timberlake came from?
Oh, you know what? What's the dude that played the guitar? It's a solo dude, Caucasian dude. He played the guitar and he had a song that was a hit.
That really narrowed it down, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Now you should know who I'm talking about.
No, oh no. Hey,
What was the
Kenny B.
song he had? The
Damn, you just
person
hey,
who just put Maroon 5 knows the individual that I'm talking about. The dude with the guitar and had the song because they used to love that song and play it all
I
the
don't
time.
even know the Maroon 5 song though. What's the Maroon 5 song?
I don't know. John
John
Mayer.
Mayer.
John Mayer. What's the song from John Mayer?
Now he was big though.
Yeah, I said
He was big. But
I
I
just
didn't know.
told you who it was.
Oh, he came from Maroon 5?
No. Maroon,
What's the
Adam
what's the
Levine or whatever his name is the dude from Maroon 5.
who? Zach Levine?
Zach Levine, I don't know. Yeah.
I just know Justin Timberlake.
He ain't got nothing to do with none of it.
If you
Justin
love
Timberlake,
me,
Justin
oh
Timberlake and John B is not Caucasian.
John B. John
they,
B was rapping too.
their music is our music.
Yeah, John B.
It's not their music isn't us crossing over into a different lane. Just like you didn't know the average white band, that song that I just played, you would have never knew that was.
No, it's another one. It's another one. He just died. He just died. You never would have knew he was white. Damn. I can't think of that song. Boy, I can't think of it. Your body is a wonderland. I don't know. That
Maroon
sound like
5.
that
That's
sound like
Maroon 5.
what's that white boy who black? The Weekend.
The Weeknd is a king. What are you talking about? And the fact that how your camera said that just your eyes in the thing look even crazier.
Oh shit. The Weekend be slapping too. Justin Bieber.
Yeah, but he kind of young to me. Like,
Hey, John
oh,
Mayer,
John
man.
Muir, his body is a wonderland. Nah, but that ain't the song. It was another song, but whatever.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know how.
yeah, but
Hey,
that was,
I listen to what's that one that be playing right now? Um, you something got a hold on me, and I just don't leave me alone. Won't you know I lose control? You don't listen to that? No.
oh, I don't listen to nothing nowadays. I ain't
Oh,
even.
man, listen. I'm listening to rock and roll, blues, country. I'm jamming,
I ain't heard.
jazz.
I ain't heard no music. The only time
I've
I
been,
hear music playing is in the studio when I'm training people, and I don't even listen to it. I just
I've, I've been
play.
listening to Miles Davis lately.
Mm.
I've been listening to Miles Davis, just putting that on. And what's my girl? She got the deep voice. Uh, Strange Fruit. Not Strange Fruit. What's her name? You would think she
Oh,
sound like a man on all her songs.
Natalie King Cole or something. That King
No,
Cole or
no, no, no. Blackbird. Blackbird.
what they had
Nina
a movie about
Simone.
Nina Simone. Yeah, they had a movie about
Nina
her.
Simone. Yeah, man. Listen, I've been John B or Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke. John B had 3 or 4 good songs. Robin Thicke, I don't know. He was more modern, I guess. I don't know. Different genres. Justin Timberlake don't deserve to be mentioned. Why?
Why?
Why? Justin Timberlake be slapping. And, and he be doing the dances. The white boy be out there gigging. And he make good movies. Why wouldn't you mention them? Did we just switch? You just switch the thing?
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
you did.
anyway.
Anyway,
That's the
hey,
vibe.
we're gonna log back in on. I'm gonna try to get it later this week or next week.
Yeah, y'all.
Out.
So if KC be on a hiatus, y'all, we gonna get on his head.
You see how I just went out?
We gonna get on his head.
It sounds crazy now.
Huh?
It sounds crazy on my
I don't know.
John B with Pop. Yeah. Anyway, hey, it's echoing on my end.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that was another episode of No Cap. We kind of went off into music at the end, but in the middle there, you got the substance that you always get. So make sure you replay that part. Tell us what you like. We'll cut up some clips from your favorite part of the live podcast and drop the clips so you can replay the clips that you like. So tell us what part of the segment you want us to cut up clips from, and we will see you on the next one. Tell a friend and tell a friend to join in. You feel
Like, subscribe, and check.
me? Indeed. All right, y'all. We'll holler
In
at
a
y'all.
minute, because I can't get this echo.
All right.
Yep.